Alright, this video is to bring awareness to the community of Forsyth, Georgia, especially to the Latino community and to the public in general. On July 29, 2025, July 29, 2025, I went to the ER around 10:30 p.m., mainly at the request of my family. I was I was feeling a little bit weak, muscle weakness, and I went there for a diagnosis. I went there around 10:30 p.m. I went to the Northside Hospital Fortsyth in Cumming, Georgia. Cumming, Georgia is a city that is located around 40 miles north of Georgia. So I went there for a diagnosis. So around 10:30 p.m., they did a blood test on me. They say no problems, it was fine. And they did an MRI scan also. And when I was waiting for the results at the ER room, was the lady that came out, and she was almost excited. She said, you have a cancer in your brain, you have cancer in your brain, and she saw me some images on her computer. I was really skeptical because I wasn't feeling any sickness, headaches, migraines, collapses, so I was really skeptical about me having cancer in the brain. They did a second MRI to confirm it, and I was curious, and I waited at the ER room, and then the results came. There was a neurosurgeon or a neurologist at the ER room, and then he showed me like two images on the computer, and then she said, you have a tumor in your brain, and the tumor is going to push your brain down, and you're going to die. And I said, if that's the case, how come I don't have any symptoms? I don't have headaches, migraines, collapses, and then he mentioned it's a meningioma. A meningioma is a benign tumor that overwhelmingly does not grow. In rare instances, it grows 1 or 2 millimeters per year, but most in rare instances they do grow. So he said it's a meningioma. I told this neurosurgeons or neurologists, I don't want to have surgery. I'll take all the risk because I was feeling well. I wasn't feeling sick. No symptoms of any tumors or cancer on my brain. I knew I wasn't going to die. When I said that to him, when I challenged him like that, he started saying that the tumor was clouding my judgment, that I wasn't making decisions. They already started saying that from the beginning, that my tumor was clouding my judgment. I really scolded this neurologist, and I went off on him. I said, don't say that, because I have my 5 senses and I got my cognitive faculties intact. And don't even say that to my family because they might believe it. So when I was at the ER room, almost like 5 minutes after or 2 minutes after, another doctor came. His name is Dr. Charles E. Weaver Jr. He came, he's a neurologist at Northside Hospital Fortsyth and in Cumming, Georgia. And he asked me to walk like 7 meters. And because I tilted a little bit to the left, he said, oh, something is wrong with you. Something is wrong. Then he sent me to a second MRI, a tear MRI. So they put me in bed and they took me to this tear MRI. I was there for 3 minutes. As soon as they finished the MRI, they took me, when I was still in bed, they took me to the intensive care unit at Northside Hospital. They closed all these windows. They put a monitor on the bed to monitor my movement when I got out of the bed, and they put another monitor around the room, in the room, to monitor if I was my movement also, to monitor my movement. There was 2 sensors, one in bed and one outside. And they put IVs on both arms, used so they can give me some medications to supposedly for the swelling on the tumor that I had in my head. On the next date, on July 30, 2025, a doctor came. His name is Getachew Desta, Getachhew, and then Desta is Desta. And then he showed me some images also in a computer, some MRI images. And then he said, some MRIs of the scan that they did. And then he said, you're going to die in 12 days. And I said, I take all that responsibility. I don't have any symptoms. How come we have to go through surgery right away. And I said, why don't we do other things and then he said, like what? He said, and then I said, we can monitor. We can monitor. I can come back in 6 months, and then we'll see the tumor is growing. And then he didn't. I said, give me that release force. I'll take all the risks. I don't want to stay here. And then he went and told my family when he saw me. When I said that, he left to tell my family, oh, he's gonna die in 12 days. Unfortunately, my family that was with me at the ER on that July 30, they believe these doctors that I haven't met in my life before. And the next, either on the 30 or the same day or the next day, another doctor came. His name is Dr. Jonathan Davy Beck. He's also a neurologist that works at Northside Hospital Fortsyth. He works 2 hospitals because at Northside Hospital they got 5 locations. And then he came, he did the muscle test on me, my arms and legs. And then I asked him, doctor, why do we have the surgery right away? Why, if I'm gonna have surgery, I need to get a second opinion. And then he said, he said, I need to get a second opinion and I need to see 1,000 images of MRI scans. And then he said, a second opinion at this hospital? I said, no, outside this hospital. I don't want to do it here because I really trust these doctors. So he also said to me and my family, because I was there, I was able to hear what he was saying to my family. If he lives with the surgery, he's going to come back in 30 days unconscious in a coma state, and the surgery is going to be worse. He might end up in a coma state for the rest of his life. So that's what he said. They were really aggressive about the surgery, and so they scheduled the surgery for August 6, 2025, and on the day a day before the surgery, there was a nurse that was working overnight. He came. He's from Africa. I don't know. He was born in Africa, but I don't remember that name of the country that he told me he was from. And then he said they want to know if you're gonna have the surgery. I said no, I don't want to have the surgery. And then when he said he probably meant doctors that were Dr. Jonathan, Dr. David Beck, and Dr. Weaver. So I said no. Around 2 a.m. on August 6, 2025, I started feeling my eyes closing really heavily, and I noticed that my speech was blurred. I wasn't really intelligible with speech. I know I just went to unconscious from 2 a.m. to on the 6th, August 6, 2025, I went unconscious from 2 a.m. to 11 p.m. I felt that I was sedated. I suspected that I was sedated by either by these doctors or this nurse. And then the relative that was with me overnight from the 5th to the 6th, also she told me that Dr. Desta authorized for me to be sedated. So the next day, according to my medical records, they are around 12 p.m. on the 6th, they took me to the anesthesia room, and they did the surgery from 2:57 p.m. to 8:59 p.m. I woke up with the surgery already done on me on that around 11 p.m. They did the surgery they did the breast surgery without authorization, even when they knew that I never authorized the surgery and I didn't want to have the surgery. They knew, but they still did anyway. I'm going to show you the pictures of the surgery. Please be aware that some of the pictures of the surgery that they did, these pictures were taken on July 8, 2025. One of my nephews that came to the hospital to see me. Be aware that the pictures might be disturbing for some people. And I'm going to show you those pictures, guys. You guys can see the stitches right here. The metal grapes right here go from here all the way to my ear. that was taken on the August 8, 2028. This, let me get a little bit closer, all the way from here, from the ear to the forehead. So this is basically aggravated assault and battery. So this video is to bring awareness to that community that we have some doctors in Northside Hospital acting as doctors when in reality they are thugs, wearing uniforms, but they're thugs. They are doing dishonest things and they should not be practicing medicine. I'm going to post part 2 and now we continue with the story.